The familiar concept only supports the thin plot for so long. Produced on a budget of $132 million, this Steven Spielberg sci-fi disaster film was the fourth highest grossing film of 2005, with its $592 million take. Loosely based on the famous novel by H.G. Wells of the same name, the 116-minute plot follows Tom Cruise and his family, who fight for survival during a deadly alien invasion. Cruise is charismatic and watchable no matter what he does, and this role is no exception, bringing determination and hope to a completely unwinnable situation. Alongside him as his teenage children are Dakota Fanning and Justin Chatwin, who play off their A-list father with ease. The initial attack on a New York suburb mixes curiosity with tension as large tripod machines emerge from under the ground. Strikingly realistic visual effects and convincing performances from the large group of extras help sell this memorable moment. The onlookers' breathless reactions to the unthinkable draw obvious parallels to 9/11, similarities that are driven home even further when Cruise is horrified to discover he's covered in the ash of vaporized humans. The PG-13 rated narrative feels extremely claustrophobic, as the few glimpses we see of the global destruction are via in-world TV monitors broadcasting news coverage. Because of this more localized destruction, we never see famous American landmarks getting vaporized by the invading aliens. Taking their place instead are more intimate and unsettling scenarios, like when our protagonists emerge from a cellar to discover an entire neighborhood flattened by a crashed 747 airliner. A horrifying landscape so memorable, Universal Studios replicated it as part of their studio backlot tour.
I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
Later, the Cruise family minivan attracts the unwanted attention of an unruly mob, desperate for their transportation. It's an incredibly tense and realistic scene that becomes downright uncomfortable as humanity stoops to its worst.
Hold on. Wait, look out. Look out, hold on! Are you okay?
But why were they on the move in the first place? I'll never understand why characters in these types of stories are constantly trying to outrun danger, when the obvious choice is just to return to a place that's already destroyed. Towards the middle of the film, a heated conversation inside a speeding van is photographed in a stitched-together faux one-take shot, an incredible visual effects accomplishment that likely inspired a very similar scene in The Children of Men, released the following year. The rest of the cinematography is mostly filmed from eye level, reinforcing the sensation that we're experiencing these dangers from the perspective of the helpless humans. Unfortunately, the unrelenting pace comes to a grinding halt when the film takes a lengthy detour to play hide-and-seek with probing alien tentacles in Tim Robbins' dark basement. Robbins' small role includes a great description of the film's title, though, when he calmly warns, "This is not a war any more than there's a war between men and maggots. This is an extermination." There's still some effective suspense in this scene, but when the big-budget escapist adventure pivots to a quiet horror thriller, my interest dropped to zero. As a filmmaker, especially one of Spielberg's caliber, you have to ask yourself how each component services the story. Since this 20-minute portion contributes little and hampers even more, War of the Worlds would have been much better if it had been removed. Worse still, the movie never recovers. Of those familiar with the source material, its surprise ending is a great way to conclude a believable sci-fi story. But for a modern cinematic adaptation, wrapping up your entire plot with 2 lines of Morgan Freeman narration is an unsatisfying way to end a blockbuster. Spielberg's longtime collaborator John Williams thankfully lends his remarkable talents to the soundtrack, which mixes mechanical sounds, pulsing strings, and heavy drums. A fine adaptation of the classic work, most audiences will enjoy this adventure on at least one viewing. Despite its uneven momentum and detrimental adherence to the climax-free story, War of the Worlds has thrilling action with frighteningly beautiful imagery. I think it's a cool film. That does it for this quick excerpt, but if you'd like to watch full episodes of Movie Night and submit your own reviews to be included on the show, please visit the Jogwheel YouTube channel. My name is Jonathan Paula, thank you for watching, and have a good movie night.